This podcast is part 2 of a series. So if you have not yet met my mum, Carolyn, or heard about her decision to pursue voluntary assisted death after living with multiple sclerosis for 35 years, then you might want to go back to episode 12 and listen to her story before you listen to this. But 10 days ago, we had my mum's living wake. She was really looking forward to that party, but that party was 4 months before she planned on calling in her voluntary assisted death chip. January was the plan, but things escalated quickly. So the party was amazing, absolutely perfect, best ever, she said, and I definitely think that I took the Daughter of the Century award for what went down. I put my heart and soul into an event for her that was really special, and it was. Everybody travelled from far and wide. It was supposed to be a 2-day event, so there was the official living wake followed by a lunch the next day so that people had a little bit more time to see her, knowing that many people would not see her after that weekend. She looked beautiful. She was so joyous and so happy all day, and she just loved it. And special things went down. We had her cardboard casket there. Everybody decorated it. There was a ritual led by Rachel Moore, who was our ceremonialist, who is amazing. And everybody had a crystal bead that we all programmed with a memory and beautiful thoughts, and that created a necklace, which was a talisman that Mum was going to wear for the next few months until she died. Everyone had a special moment to give their crystal, to say something, to give her a kiss. But the lunch, obviously, 4 hours, it goes quite fast, and Mum was exhausted. So she went home. Everybody dispersed, looking forward to lunch the next day. Interestingly enough, that night I had a dream that Mum died. I dreamt that my dad came and said, "Congratulations on a great party. You should be very proud of yourself. It was awesome." And Mum died, and she and I were talking after her death, as you do in a dream. And she said, "I'm doing it now because everybody is here to comfort each other at the lunch tomorrow." And I was like, "No, Mum, that's not cool. I don't want everybody around me. I just want to be able to sit with you and be with your body and to process this." And, I was really cranky. Anyway, I woke up thinking, weird. But the phone call came at about 8:30 in the morning, and it was a nurse of Mum's who had become a very good friend of hers, and she explained that Mum was okay, but she had had a medical event that night. And these medical events had been happening more and more regularly, but this one was particularly bad and extremely frightening. Mum couldn't breathe. She had a number of different things going on alongside or because of her multiple sclerosis, and one of them was that her respiratory system was failing. And this night, she couldn't catch a breath. She pressed her buzzer for someone to come and assist her, and nobody came for a long time. And Mum was terrified that night that she was going to suffocate alone in her bed. And that really frightened her. Emily said that my mum was trying really hard to hang on to Gaga. We were going to Gaga. Hang on until after Christmas. Hang on until January. But she said, "Your mum is really tired." So I grabbed my brother and we went over We also went with a very, very dear old family friend, and we sat with Mum and asked her how she was feeling. And she said, her options were to have an operation to see if they could clear whatever was going on in her airways. And I said, do you feel like you want surgery? And she was like, nah. And I asked her, do you feel like you're done? Because you don't have to hold on until Gaga. You don't have to hold on until Christmas. Like, it's arbitrary, If you feel like the time is now. She said, I do. I said, I'll make the call. And it was quite easy. The decision was quite easy. Sad. Yeah. But not hard. I could see how tired she was. We could all see. So we made the call, and they said that they would, put the wheels in motion and get back to us and let us know that it's not as simple as, you click your fingers and the voluntary assisted death doctor comes and puts you to sleep. But the medication is under lock and key. It needs to be ordered. It needs to be transferred, couriered. There's a process. And then we talked about the lunch, and Mum said, should I come to the lunch that was at my house? People were picking up the food. Everybody was on their way. Should I come to the lunch? I'm so tired. I just come maybe in my pajamas, just come for a cup of tea. And I asked Mum, did she feel complete after the party the day before? And she said she did. So I said, that's okay. You don't have to come to the party. I can let everybody know that the decision has been made. And then I asked her if she would like them to contact her, and she said no. Imagining as if yesterday her party was the last day. Imagining as if she did in fact die that night. So we recorded this conversation on the Tuesday. This was all on the Sunday morning. The decision was made, the wheels were put in place, and the date was set Wednesday morning. So Tuesday morning we went to the Nantian temple to meditate at her request. And then Tuesday afternoon she asked if we could record this podcast. And I was so tired. I stayed in the nursing home with Mum from Sunday. And I, as you can imagine, hadn't been getting a lot of sleep. So I was like, maybe we should just rest, just be together. And then my very dear family friend, Rodney, was like, nah, dude, you've got to do this, hey? You'll regret not doing it. So we recorded this conversation. So the thing that so many people said was we thought we had more time. I thought we had more time. I thought we had until January. And this escalation, this bringing it forward was quite shocking. But also, it wasn't unexpected, whether she died in January or she died now, we knew that it was coming. We knew that she was also not well. We knew that she was worried she wouldn't make it to her party. I think I didn't really understand. I just assumed she'd be okay. It wasn't until I was living with her in her nursing home that I really got to see how bad things were at night for her, which was both beautiful and hard. I wasn't sure how this conversation was going to go. I wasn't sure what it was that I needed to ask, but we did it. It's pretty raw. As I record this, I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling quite peaceful, like now. I was feeling very scared when we recorded together, but in this moment now, 8 days after she's died, I'm feeling quite peaceful. I'm feeling quite calm. And I'm not feeling the crazy grief that I was anticipating. It's something far gentler. I guess there's part of me that's wondering if that's actually going to change, if I'm in denial, if the wild waves of grief are coming still, if I'm still in a phase of grief where I imagine that she is just still living down the road and it's actually quite nice to have a week off. But I will only know as I go through. But for the moment, I would like to invite you to listen to part 2 of Carolyn Colley's story of dying with dignity.
Hi, I'm Danielle, and I'm so glad that you're here because together we're going to work through big stuff.
Well, as the kids like to say, that escalated quickly. How are you feeling right now? Good. Yeah? What kind of emotions have been going on for you in like the last 24 hours?
A bit of a roller coaster, really. As the staff have been coming through and hoping me and guessing me, well, of course it's might be a bit teary. But in general, I feel very calm and very excited.
And it's been awesome for me. I've been staying with you for the last few days and I'll stay here as well tonight. It's been awesome for me to see so many people coming through and giving you so much love, people who work here and family of other residents here coming through, and really so many people are thanking you as opposed to you thanking them for caring for you or whatever. It's been really, it's very, it's beautiful for me to watch. It has been a bit of a shock, but not a shock. We knew it was coming. It's just been brought forward. What was it that made you decide to bring it forward and do it now rather than January?
Well, I had a medical event on Saturday night after my big birthday party, which made me realise how horrible my death's going to be. So I thought I could possibly have an operation which would have sorted out the problem in here, but I wouldn't survive that anyway. So I thought, right, I'm going to pull the pin now.
When you made that decision, and my brother and I, we came because we got a phone call saying that you'd had a bad night, you'd had a beautiful party, it was a great time. You had a bad night and you were very tired and over it. So my brother and I, Emerson and I, came really quickly and said it's okay. You don't have to hang on till Christmas. You know, you can do whatever you want. How was that for you, like making that decision to finally say, okay, this is it?
Easy.
What did you feel?
tremendous relief. Because I've been carrying that around for so long. I've been thinking, oh, well, I hope I don't die of, other causes, because I've got to make it to my Lady Gaga concert. And then, when I got to that point, I thought, I just can't risk it.
What about Gaga?
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Somebody else will just have to.
I'm sure we'll find a taker for the ticket. I'm sure
No, you won't
we
have
will
any
work that out.
problems.
We had a conversation we've had lots of conversations with lots of people, and people have been asking you some interesting questions. And some of them are absurd, some of them are just based in, human curiosity. I have a question here from Andrew, who wants to know if you've given thought to what your last words might be.
Well, I had.
Oh, are you going to give us a hint, or is it, you can keep it a secret, do the big reveal at the last minute?
Oh, you know what it's going to be, I'm pretty sure.
Well, if it's that, I already know. So, the gag's already done.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. So long, and thanks for all the fish.
And that's a reference to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Which is one of my favourite series of books. Because they were so insightful and so funny and so ridiculous. But then now that I've come to think of it, I thought, they're not that ridiculous after all.
Yeah. Maybe the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy was deeply steeped in some kind of universal higher consciousness.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we all just thought it was a great laugh.
Yeah.
That's an interesting idea, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, and I agree. We've had a lot of conversations about consciousness, and even in here there's been a lot of conversations with people who work in aged care around spirit, around, that soul essence, and people communicating and connecting from the afterlife.
It's really amazed me how deeply some of these people think. And how they understand about soul, essence, and higher self. Yeah, it's really astounding me.
Yeah. So from lots of different cultures.
Yeah.
And lots of different age groups.
Yes.
And it has been really interesting. And I think it's really, for me, affirming and comforting, because everyone we've talked to, there's been zero doubt that there is afterlife, that there is more, that there is capacity to connect, communicate, that the soul stays around, the higher being stays around. Even though you're going to do whatever it is you're going to do, there is still, ways for us to be together. And you also said a lot of people will be thinking that you're incredibly brave for making this decision. Do you think that you're being brave?
Not really. As I said to you, in a way I thought I was taking the chicken's way out. But also I think it's just the logical thing to do.
When this conversation came up last night, it was highlighted that the human organism, its number one primal function is to survive. And a lot of people in all sorts of awful, sick states will continue to fight to stay.
Yeah.
What do you think has been like the thing that has most helped you to like surrender? That sort of seems to be
That's the word now. Surrender. I'm just tired.
yeah, I know.
I'm tired.
I know. And having spent a few nights here in the room with you and seeing you go to bed and it's like 11:30 by the time you get to bed and then you're finally in bed and then something happens and you're like, oh, I need to go to the bathroom. So you need to buzz, people need to come, you need to have all of your foot braces put back on. It is, and then, it's like another hour for you to just get up and go to the bathroom and go back to bed. And then this morning you needed to go again 5 hours after that, and then that's our day.
And
Life is tiring.
it's tedious for me.
Yeah.
And I think, gosh, it must be so tedious for the staff too.
It doesn't appear to be.
But no, it doesn't. I know. I think they're so gracious.
They really are. And there's a lot of humour. There's a lot of love.
Yeah.
There's a lot of compassion.
Yes.
And I see a lot of genuine affection,
Yeah.
which is, no matter what time of day it is, they don't need to straighten your clothes. They can get you up on the Sarah Steady, which is the mobility machine thing that you have to use. But they'll like, just give you a little pat and straighten you up and there's always extra love.
Yeah.
But it's been really heartwarming for me to see because
How about Byron doing my facial routine?
So good. The way he puts your moisturizer on is like my beautician. He's got the full lots and lots of love for sure. That's so great. You have talked about signs. You'll be around. We'll know you're around. You said in your speech at your living wake / birthday event, in a rainbow or in a dragonfly, or how will we know? Like, let's you and I now, come up with a sign so that in between the recording of this and it going out, or, I might be able to actually receive it to confirm, like we talked about that and it happened. So what do you think is a good sign from you that I will know?
Well, we've talked about seeing dragonflies.
I know, but my home, I've got millions of dragonflies. I'm seeing dragonflies all the time. I'm seeing them fly around mating, which is, how will I know if that's you? Like, connected.
Oh, Richard, I'm coming.
I hope there are some things you're greatly looking forward to in the afterlife.
I don't know. Flashing lights.
And that's been interesting. Tell us about the flashing lights in here.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. When I had the reading from the clairvoyant, this wonderful woman called Carrie, and during the reading, she said to me, up this door here is my bathroom. And she said, is there something wrong with your bathroom light? And I said, no, not at all. And my back was to it. And she said, well, your bathroom light's flashing. Okay. It's your mum trying to tell you she's here. And then I said, oh, I didn't know Mum was here. And she said, she's been here all along, but you just didn't notice. And then I realised that my bedside light also flashes. And I went, oh, okay, I get it now. And then I thought, isn't it stupid? Sometimes I'm sitting there talking to my bedside light.
Yeah, we did that last night, didn't we?
Yeah.
We came in and the light started flashing, and then you and I started asking yes and no questions
Yes.
to the lamp.
Yes.
And we got answers that made sense to us.
Absolutely.
And then we cracked up laughing at how ridiculous it is that here we are asking questions to a lamp. And I mean, who knows? Who knows?
But the thing was that the son-in-law of my next door neighbour came in and it was doing it one day, and he said, "Well, there's something wrong with your light." So he, made sure that the bulb was fitted properly, and it still started flickering again. And I said, "Oh, that's Mum." And he went, "Oh."
What happened with the lamp the night you were having your medical incident, your event on Saturday night, when you couldn't breathe and you thought you were going to suffocate because your airways had closed up? What was happening?
Crazy.
The lamp went crazy.
Yeah.
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 Do you think that was Nana trying to get someone's attention?
Possibly.
Wild. I mean, it's crazy. We need to have a sign. I'm going to take that. I'll take that lamp home, or maybe I need to use a different lamp so that, but maybe flashing lights, because in my house, my lights don't really flicker. There is a little flicker sometimes in my in my chandelier above the stairs, which means it might be easier for you to do that one. But we need to, it needs to be something significant, not just the usual, a little bit of flicker. All right?
Well,
So
I don't know. You don't have to
I
give it
know.
a chance.
Okay, all right. I'll wait till you work it out. When I think about tomorrow, and I think about the moment, we're going to do a little ritual before. I'm going to bring some of my good woo
Yep.
to the party. And then when I think about the actual thing, I get a tightness in the pit of my stomach. And I want to cry. And
you will.
I will. Let's just call that out. I'm definitely going to be crying. But I actually feel a bit sick and really scared about the moment. How are you feeling about the moment, the money moment?
Bliss. It'll be just so wonderful to fall asleep finally. First decent sleep I've had in about 15 years. So I think, yeah. Oh, it'll be nice. It'll be peaceful. And I'll just go to sleep.
Yeah. I have always said, and, especially even more so since being with my dad when he died, that everybody's going to die. Yeah, there's no getting around that. But if you can be...
I said that to a friend recently that I hadn't spoken to for quite some time. And I said, yeah, I am dying. And she said, we're all dying.
Yeah. But I said, I believe that the best that anyone can ask for, seeing as that's inevitable, is to feel loved, to know that you were deeply loved at the end.
Yeah.
And that's it, not to be alone, to know that you're loved, and for it to be as fast and pain-free as possible, I suppose, but just to be loved if you can't control everything else. So that's good. That's my wish for you tomorrow, and you've chosen your VIP crew who are going to be here, and I'm pretty sure I have no doubt that you'll feel that love. As I said a moment ago, I have been so heart blown, exploded open to see all the love come from all of the people. You've had a whole rich life in here that I was unaware of. Yeah. And what is so great about that is, firstly, it has really eased my guilt. I thought I was putting you in jail by putting you in a home. Yeah. And it hasn't been that. You've had a whole life that I was unaware of, all these different beautiful relationships. And you had mentioned people, but to actually see it is a different thing. And everybody is saying how much they've learned from you and how inspired they are by you, and thanking you and saying what an honor it is to take care of you. Were you aware of the impact?
Totally unaware.
What do you think it is? Like, they can't all be tripping, saying, like, you must be pretty awesome. What do you think it is about you that has brought all these people to you, and they're all getting these lessons? Everyone talks about the things that they've learned from you, and then on care, physical care, on emotional stuff, on confidence and speaking out, all sorts of things. What do you think it is about you that has been able to do this?
I don't know. My confidence in myself, I suppose, and all the years of experience that I've got of my life in Jersey, all the experience I got there, all the in the hospitality industry, all the experience I got in Coffs Harbour, because I had, well, I've been teaching people all my life. I've been teaching staff how to work. I've been teaching staff how to work together. I've been teaching people about teamwork. I've been just everything I've done.
In my work, it's funny you say that. In my work, I talk a lot about how, sometimes we try something and it doesn't work out, and we think that it's a fail, and we don't see that all the different pieces and all the different things, all the different moments, all the different things that we learn and we do and we try are all pieces of a puzzle, and we just can't see the picture yet. And
This is my picture.
right,
Everything I've done through life has been leading up to this moment. And as I said to you today, all of a sudden, everything is coming together. And that's how now is the time.
yeah. And I am seeing everything come together. There are so many crazy synchronicities
Absolutely.
at the moment.
It felt just over the last couple of weeks, so many things have been like, what the fuck? See that? Yeah.
It's interesting. I dreamt the other night, on Saturday night, the night you had your incident, I dreamt that you died. And Dad
It was close, I'll tell you.
And Dad was there, and Dad actually came to say what a good job I did of your party.
Yeah.
Because I did. I went to bed very, very chuffed with myself about the experience of your party.
Amazing. I mean, that was the best party. I've thrown some good parties.
You sure have.
That was the best. Yours was the best.
Well, I mean, if you're going to go up with a bang, right? So I'll take that. I'll take that all the way to the cleaners. Thank you. But I dreamt that you died. So getting the call from Emily in the morning, that's what I thought she was going to say. So when she said that, you were just really tired, it was a no-brainer that it was time to tell you that it was okay for you to go. It was time to let you go. Yeah, it's big stuff. I mean, this is really big stuff. This podcast is all about big stuff, but fuck, Mum, like, it doesn't get bigger than this. It really doesn't. I wasn't anticipating this when I started this podcast. I have to say, the thing, and I was about to say it then, I thought we had more time. And that is the thing that so many people have said. I thought we had more time. And on Saturday, you had an event on Saturday, and then there was a recovery lunch on Sunday. And after your event, you were exhausted, you were frightened, and you were just emotionally and physically spent. from the day before and from not being sleepless, you decided not to come to the recovery lunch. And you also asked everyone to not contact you. And I completely get it. I completely get it. But explain a little about what was your thinking behind that.
I think I'd said all my goodbyes. And I think it was finished.
It's done. And
How many times can I say goodbye?
yeah, but so many people said, I didn't talk to you much on Saturday because I thought we had more time, right? I thought we had another day. Somebody else said, oh, you know, I was really looking forward to when I retire being able to spend whole weeks with you rather than just weekends. I thought I had more time. So,
But that's what happens when you have a big party. You just don't have time to work your way around it.
I think it's what happens in life generally. We don't have time, you know, and it's about really prioritizing and recognizing what really is important. And if you don't have time, what would you like to have done? Like, what would you like? What would be the? And obviously, we live in the real world. Like, you know, we have to work. We need money. The kids have to do boring. Like, we have to be doing all of the mundane stuff as well.
Yeah. But I wasn't finished what I wanted to do here. I had so much more that I wanted to do. Now I just have to pass the baton on to somebody else.
I asked you when you said, like, should I come to the recovery lunch? I'll just stay in my pajamas. I can just come for a little cup of tea. And I said to you, do you feel complete?
Absolutely.
And you felt complete. Yeah. And so now, even though you had all of these grand plans of what you wanted to be doing here in the facility, of the changes that you wanted to make, and the legacy moves, how do you feel complete, even though some of those loops are still open? Or do you feel like you can just walk away from it?
Yeah, I feel as if I've done all that I need to do, because I think I've taught enough people here what needs to be done and how to do it.
And a lot of people have said you've done such great things and you've started it. You started the ball rolling. You've put a number of things into place.
Yeah.
What is your biggest regret about dying now?
Don't stop me. Leave my grandkids.
Yeah. Because they're in the really jerky part right now as teenagers, and they're really difficult. They're about to get good.
Right.
They're not really jerks. They're awesome.
They are.
Yeah.
And they love me.
They do. They do. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that would be your biggest fear.
That's the hardest thing.
And what is your, I guess then, what are you most proud of about dying now?
Well, my main achievements are UNMs, and
what's been really awesome, even though it was a bit shitty that it had to happen this way, is, he and I have had a tricky couple of years. But we've come back together throughout this.
yeah.
And people say that often, sometimes it takes a bit of a shitty thing for people to realise what's important.
Yeah.
So I want you to know that, We got this. We got this. Have you thought about last food? Because I asked somebody last night, your friend Wendy, like the conversation just rolled around. And she said, steak, mushroom risotto, roast pumpkin and broccolini. Like it just rolled off on her tongue, didn't it? I was like, what? Have you given this some thought? She was like, yep, I absolutely have. I've given it some thought. I have no idea what I would like to be my last food. I know that you've had some suggestions of fasting because you have Hindus here, suggestions of fasting. Other people have said just have a shot of whiskey. You know, before we rock on in the morning, it's going to happen in the morning. What are you thinking? What are you feeling?
Well, if I hadn't had this hiatus hernia, because I have to be careful what I eat now, and I have to be careful. It's so boring.
No.
Yeah. And having to work out how much I can eat. You know, I have to be so careful because I don't want to get, you know,
Wake the beast up is how you describe
wake the beast up, as I call it, yes. So I'm just thinking I'll probably just have a cup of miso soup and he's going to make me some cinnamon scrolls, the little ones, so I'll just have cinnamon scroll. And that'll do.
I don't think anything says greater love from a grandchild who is baking for you the night before you die.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So cinnamon scrolls it will be.
Yeah.
You've asked for your body to stay in situ for 8 hours after your heart stops. What's that about?
Well, everything stopped, right? But the energy, the electricity is still going. And apparently it remains for longer than that. But 8 hours is the least. And so they say just leave it in absolute peace.
Oh, I've got all these things I'm going to say to you when you're gone. Absolute peace. This is my time to just like. No, I will sit quietly in absolute peace.
And now can I take your ring off?
Yeah. Yes, I will. I'm probably not going to stay for the whole 8 hours. I think that's a long time for me.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I will. I have a plan, and I'll be removing joy. I plan to anoint your skin. You will have already been showered and washed in the morning, so I plan to anoint your skin, just spend some time with you, and just continue talking to you and being with you until I'm complete. And yeah, but look, sitting with you today at the temple, we went to the Nantian temple, and it was very peaceful.
That was perfect for me.
It was, and I walked around and I saw signs saying, you know, to face adversity with joy and to see the hardships as gifts. And I was like, it's a trap. She's done this on purpose to make me be all philosophical about something I feel so sad about. But we meditated together, which was really beautiful because I'm also very tired. So it was nice to just have that peaceful moment. And my mantra over the last, I've actually been meditating regularly for the last 30 days, which is, I didn't know that this was coming. So that's another synchronicity. I knew that this was in my further away future, and I didn't want to be crazy with pre-grief for the next sort of 4 months. So I thought, yeah, it's time for me to get a really solid meditation practice.
Yeah.
And I have meditated every day. So today when we meditated, my brain knew, oh, this is what we're doing, rather than what would have happened 28 days ago or 30 days ago, which would have been like, oh, the monkeys, the monkeys. So we sat quietly, and then when we were done, when you were done, you touched my shoulder and brought me back. What did you say to me?
I said, I remembered you. And I knew we'd been somewhere, sometime we'd been together. In whatever form, I don't know. You might have been my mother. We might have been friends. Who knows? Yeah. But yeah.
And I said, what do you mean, Mama? And you said, from before. I remembered you.
Yeah.
From before.
Because we always have been, and we our spirit always has been and always will be. So somewhere in the universe, we've been together.
Then we will be again.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so long, and thanks for all the fish, Mama. You've got our last night. I know tonight's going to be like the anti-Christmas. You know, like you want to go to sleep early at Christmas so that you can wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm so tired. I've been here now 4 nights and I have barely slept. And I haven't been here 4 nights. That's a lie. Tonight is my 3rd night. But the party night and the night before, I hadn't slept. So I'm very, very tired. But I also know I am going to really resist sleep tonight because I don't want the morning to come. But I'm also really happy for you. And I'm looking forward to you having peace because I know how hard this has been. You know, in particular, this last 12 months has been so hard for you.
Oh, it's been horrible. Except
All the pops of joy.
all the pops of joy that I've had.
Over the last 12 months?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Some of it's been lousy, but some of it's been wonderful.
Yeah. Your lamp is starting to flicker. Oh, it just stopped. Yeah, there it goes. There has been a lot of joy, and that's something that has been very hard for me to reconcile. Actually, is that you've had a better life in this last 12 months than you'd had in the years prior.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm really glad that we've had these 12 months of being closer than we've been physically closer than we've been in the last 30-something years.
Yes.
My whole adult life, we haven't lived in the same place. So it has been a real honour.
And we like each other.
We really do.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the time. Yeah. I love you. It has been a real honour to walk this journey with you in this lifetime. I'll see you in the next one.
In the next one.
See you in the next one.
See you in a second.
See you in a second.
Yeah.
I love you.
I go.
No. It's a real gift to be able to say goodbye to someone that you love. Some people die suddenly. Some people die and you don't have an opportunity to speak. And over the last few months, we have had plenty of opportunities to say everything. I have been writing a book at the same time about this process, so I've been processing it somewhat in real time as well. The morning, actually, let's go back. The night before. The night before, she hung out with some friends and had a couple of glasses of champagne. Friends that she had made since she had been in the facility. They're actually the children of the old lady next door. And that's kind of how it was. Mum made friends with the people visiting the old people and with the carers more than she did the other people in the facility. The night before, she was just talking and laughing like it was just another day. And then when we were going to bed, getting ready for bed, the carers who were getting her ready were like chatting and just talking like it was any other day. And I got a little bit desperate. I said, like, please, can you hurry up and get out of here kind of thing. I was a little more polite than that, I'd like to imagine. But I said, I feel like you're stealing my time with her. Like, this is the last moments we're going to have. And they're like, oh, yeah, of course. And they left. And Mum admitted that she was a bit scared. I think that she was acting like it was situation normal because getting all like weighty and digging into it and talking about what was going on would make it very real. And I was kind of relieved when she admitted that she was scared because I was shitting myself. I was really, really scared, but I was acting like it was like everything was okay. Everything was fine. It's okay, We've got this. So for her to tell me that she was scared, it gave me permission to say, I am so scared. But then I thought about it and I reminded Mum that she always got nervous before she travelled. Like, she used to get nauseous before going on a plane, or the night before be like, oh my God, I'm so worried, or I feel sick about this trip. And I'd be like, oh, don't be silly. You get on the plane, everything's fine. You'll be here in a minute, or you'll be wherever you're going. And so when I reminded her of that, she smiled and she was able to relax a bit more. She's like, no, you're right. But the next morning, there was none of that fear. Firstly, she had a cracking sleep. She slept the best sleep she'd slept in a really long time. And I, on the other hand, lay on the floor and cried and cried and cried for hours. I couldn't stop crying. And I guess it was because of all of that impending grief, impending fear, impending sorrow and goodbye. I just could not stop crying. I don't think I stopped crying all night. I don't know if I slept. But at 6 o'clock in the morning, or maybe 6:30, I woke her up she had barely moved all night. And I woke her up and I was like, you're wasting my time. You need to wake up now. And she's like, oh, such a good sleep. And I'm really happy for her that she had a great sleep the day before she had a big moving day. But I wanted those last hours. So my daughter, Annika, made her freshly baked cinnamon scrolls and she hand-delivered them at 7:30 in the morning. And I think as a final thing to eat, that's pretty good. Like, cinnamon scrolls weren't her favourite, but it freshly made by your granddaughter. And a fresh cinnamon scroll smells amazing. So that was great because the meal that we'd had the night before was terrible and I felt sad about that. So the final thing was delicious and made with love. And then came the nurse who was going to shower her for the day. Now, a carer will normally do the washing, but this day it was a registered nurse who she'd become good friends with, who had also become a bit of a spiritual advisor for her, a young Hindu man who also happened to be very good looking. Lots of people did mention that her choice of her final shower was quite smart. But it was his day off. He came in to take care of her on his day off. which I thought was really beautiful. And so I left the room. My brother was coming, as was a spiritual mentor of Mum's named Jason. And so we all hung out for half an hour while they showered her and got her ready. She was going to be wearing her favourite pajamas. And when I came back in half an hour, they're like, it'll only take half an hour, it won't take long. Anyway, like 45 minutes later, I came back in. There was a party and there was so many people in there, all these carers, all this staff, so many people. She looked beautiful. They decided in the end to put her back into her birthday suit, not to be confused with stark naked, but the birthday outfit that she wore, which was a matching set. And it was navy blue floral with flowers, and she looked so beautiful. And they popped her back onto her bed, and we asked everyone to leave and gave her a shot of this drink that was very special to her, had been very special because of a connection to a friend who used to make it, basically. It's called a pinky. It's a vodka infused with cranberries, and it's delicious. So we all had a shot of that. And then the people attending, Jason, my brother, and I put on these Tridatu Hindu bracelet things around our wrists to connect us to God, God's source, whatever. It was just to make the moment sacred. Well, make something sacred because you say it is. So the energy in the room was somewhat celebratory. It was somewhat calm and peaceful and beautiful and connected. It wasn't sad. It wasn't like wailing. It was like gentle, really gentle. The voluntary assisted death people first sent in a nurse to put cannulas into her veins. And I'm pretty certain they gave her some kind of relaxant because she was pretty chill. I gotta say, she was pretty relaxed. She was laughing, she was chatting, she was sort of drifting off a little bit, and we all just hung out with her. We just hung out. We listened to music. What do you feel like listening to? Should we listen to Elton John, Mum? Should we listen to Sting? We listened to Bruno Mars and Elton John, if you're curious. And then the time came. Things ran a little bit late because there was an accident that delayed the flight, as we kept saying. But then the time came. The doctors arrived and it was showtime. And I wasn't ready, but we were ready, you know? So we had a little plan of how it would go, and Mum gave everybody in the room a blessing. I did a little elemental ritual calling in the elements of earth and wind, earth and air and water and fire and ether. And we listened to the choir recording from Mum's living wake. My choir had come. My choir master, Dunk, taught all of her guests to sing harmony to a crowded house song, Don't Dream It's Over. And that's what she really wanted to listen to. Her choir, everyone singing for her. And then when that was finished, she put on a song called The Lark Ascending, a classical piece. And she closed her eyes And she said, I really love this music. If you think of a piece of music that you really love and that feeling that you get when you allow yourself to float away on it, that was her last feeling. Because that was it, the last thing she said. Considerably more beautiful than what she predicted, which was so long and thanks for all the fish. But it was over really quickly and it was really peaceful. And then we all stayed for a little bit longer and then the boys left and left me with her. And I just lay on the bed with her and cried for a number of hours until someone came and checked on me, and then I was like, all right, it's probably time to go. The following days were a haze, definitely. But what has really surprised me about it is how peaceful I am. When I woke up the next morning, I felt a sense of peace. I felt like I have been untethered from her struggle. And that brings a sense of relief, which I refuse to feel guilty for. Because ever since I was 13 years old, her pain has been something that I've wanted to take away, to fix, to ease, to make better, to soothe. So knowing now that she doesn't have any of that allows me to not have that also. The thing that I keep remembering, the moment that I keep thinking of, is lying on the bed with her and having my arms around her, touching her face. In the moments before, the moments during, and the moments after. And the intimacy of that between a mother and a child, or two people who love each other, when you're lying close with someone and touching them, you feel, without a shadow of a doubt, love. And we are all, without a doubt, going to die. Our death is certain. Your death is certain. My death is certain. Everyone I love, their deaths are certain. But in your last moments, to have someone who adores you, lying with you, touching you, it doesn't get any better than that. I don't know if I've learned anything enormous about myself or about her that I didn't already know through that process. I think what I have learned over this whole process has been more about my own beliefs about consciousness, and when hers and mine have aligned, I feel no doubt that she is everywhere, that she is around me, and that she is near me when I need her. And that does bring a sense of comfort. What has surprised me, I think, about this is I thought that I was going to be a mess. When my dad died, my whole world exploded. I was drinking enormous amounts, dipping into his pain meds. I was lost. I quit writing. I spent 3 months in a really, really dark hole. And I don't know if that is coming for me still. I don't. It's only been 8 days. But right now, what is different is this sense of calm that I feel. And that has surprised me. Is it because I have done so much nervous system work and I'm a really regulated human these days? Is it because this was a very peaceful death, whereas his death was dying of cancer and he wasted away, and cancer has an aroma, like cancer has a feeling, and you see someone getting sicker and sicker, and the dying process is really brutal, whereas Mum looked beautiful and she smelt beautiful and she just went to sleep. Has that made it easier? I don't know. All I do know is that this has been a more calm and peaceful grief so far. When people ask me how I am, people who know that Mum and I have this crazy close relationship, they are expecting me to be a mess. And the fact that I'm, like I say, I'm okay. I'm surprisingly okay. I'm more okay than I would have imagined. It's unusual. And I'm not questioning it. For whatever reason right now, I'm doing okay. That might change. There's going to be waves. I'm just allowing, like I have throughout this entire process. Allow. What I understand now that I didn't understand before is that how we approach death, how as someone about to lose someone you love, but also as the person dying approaches death, deeply impacts how the whole thing feels. So somebody struggling and fighting death feels very different to somebody surrendering to it, somebody embracing it, somebody actually looking forward to it. I've never known anyone to be looking forward to it like my mum. I'm sharing this so candidly, so intimately, because I would love for you to take from this a slightly different perspective on death, on how it can be. And I'm not just talking about voluntary assisted death, but I'm talking about the possibility of this existence, this earthly existence, this dimension not being the only thing. Therefore, whatever else there is might be something to look forward to. I invite you to be aware of the certainty of death and therefore not fear it. I'm not a guru. I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert on life, nor death, nor grief, nor humaning. And what is similar to the last time I experienced the death of a parent is in the magnitude, in the face of the magnitude of life and death, I realize that I don't know shit about shit. It is so huge and epic that it humbles me. That humbling last time destabilized me in an enormous way, whereas this time I'm awed by it. I am surrendered to it. I am softened by it. So right now, as I record this, I'm okay. I'm doing okay. Surprisingly okay. And I know that every grief, every experience of grief is wildly different. Not just every person, but each time, every relationship, every experience of death, every death is different. Therefore, how somebody grieves will be different. But for now, I'm at peace. I'm feeling calm. Both me and all of the people that have met her, certainly in the last 12 months, if not in her entire life. Carolyn Colley was one of a kind. There's no doubt about it. And I am super proud of the decisions that she made, with the grace that she died, the grace that she lived, the humor and irreverence. But I'm proud to call her my mum. Wow. What a week, huh? I guess in closing this episode, I'm not going to ask you to think about 2 questions, but I will ask you to think about how hearing all of this has made you feel. Maybe what has changed for you? What have you learned from this? As I said, the biggest thing that we heard time and again from her friends, the thing that I keep thinking, the thing that my brother has said is, I thought we had more time. And I guess if you were to take anything from this, it's to know that time is finite for all of us, and we never have as much of it as we think we do. So what does that mean for you? How do you want to live knowing that you don't have as much time as you think you do? I know it's changed everything for me. Thank you for being here.